I think oftentimes in our journey of faith, we've all prayed it at some point or another. God, if you would just show me a sign, if you would just give me a miracle, if you would just give me an A on this test or make the traffic go away, or in bigger places, give me the courage to face this disease, or help me to deal with being alone, or whatever the larger kind of crisis may be. And in some ways we look for a sign. Jesus says it's an evil generation that looks for a sign. That the real project of faith is something that's deeper than that. Jesus doesn't want people who believe in him because they're impressed by a show. Jesus wants people who believe in him because they've fallen in love. He makes disciples. The very word, in a sense, means lovers. And our faith must depend on one thing: that we trust in God. That trust can be born because we've seen the goodness of God displayed in our lives or in someone else's, or in some way in the world. To be sure, there are signs of God's love all around us if we want to see them. But those of themselves can't produce faith. Pharaoh saw great signs that God worked in Egypt, but still he pursued Israel. So obstinate was Pharaoh that after them he went. His heart was closed, not open to God in love. And Jesus confronts these hearers, and especially the scribes and the Pharisees, and says, if you have faith, you don't need signs. The Word of God, the preaching of the prophets, God's abiding covenant love for his people is enough. And for those who believe in God, that's what we need. Just to trust that God is there, that God will save. Because we believe that God can, we don't need him to prove that he will. Is the spirit with which we approach God in true faith. All of us at various times kind of waver, if we're honest, do we not, with how strong our faith is and how strong our love is. But that must be the ground of all of our life, that we believe in the unquestioning, unremitting love of God, that love that with powerful hand and arm outstretched brought Israel through every trial, even this one that we hear is approaching from behind. That love of God that sent his only begotten Son to take on our human flesh, to take on our entire condition, and without sin, to turn us to God and open our hearts completely in love. We approach the greatest mystery of love there is at this altar now. We turn and welcome the one who always comes. May we do so with faith. That is an open heart, an open ear, and trust in the eternal goodness of the one who loves us.